It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Lord's Brewing Company and it's a can of the Bandon Car. It's a porter coming in at 4.8% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Looks really good. I love a porter, so without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. John, the owner of Lord's Brewing Company, is a big fan of vehicles and cars and classic cars, but classic, big, heavy, kind of big-engined American cars. So this has probably got some kind of reference to one of those big... In fact, it looks like a car that I once had. In fact, that is definitely the car that I once had. That is a Mark V Ford Cortina. And I only know that because I had one. I had a red one. Y registration. Rear-wheel drive. Loved the damn thing. Lost it into a corner. Rear-wheel drive. I lost it into the corner of actually going into a petrol station. The petrol station had oil and petrol delivered, and the lorry spilt some oil on the entrance to the petrol station. And I went there, full lock round, rear-wheel drive. Next thing I know, the car's spinning round. I'm like, whee, round we go, round we go. But yeah, that's one of my stories from life, yeah. Didn't hit anything. But I had some strange looks whilst I was in. It was actually a Sainsbury's. Remember Sainsbury's when they were going? Yeah, it was a Sainsbury's. But anyway, we've got a one-finger tan-coloured head, jet black beer in the glass. Good levels of carbonation. Looks good. The one thing I will say is that I've been like refraining myself from calling it the abandoned car. I don't know why. Maybe because it sounds very much like it, but I've been refraining. Like, don't say the abandoned car, because that would upset John. Because John loves cars and he wouldn't want to see any cars abandoned. This is the Bandon car. Comment in the comments box. Tell me what this is all about, guys. Come on. Aroma on the beer then. Smells good. Smells good. Nutty, biscuity, bready, roasty, toasty. Well, for me so far, just getting my nose into the beer, this is Lord's Brewing Company's best beer. Just getting my nose into it. This is really good. Classic porter. A little bit of kind of rich dark chocolate, freshly kind of crushed coffee beans, a touch of vanilla. I can almost smell and feel the aroma. I didn't put it to my mouth yet. Yeah, it smells amazing. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, spot on. Spot on. Lovely, thick, creamy, rich mouthfeel, but not as far as a stout would go. This is definitely on point with porter. This is slightly more refreshing. Yes, it has that creamy, rich mouthfeel, but it's slightly refreshing at the same time. It's also very fruity. It's a plum, fig, kind of blackberry, dark fruit beer. Like mixed hedgerow fruits beer. Great head consistency, lovely look to it, no light bleeding through this glass whatsoever. Oh, that's really good. I could drink pints of this. Pints. I'm naturally, I'd like to say this at this point in time of the beer review. I've always loved my porters and stouts mild, my darker ales. I've always been more of a darker ale drinker than I have been a lighter ale drinker, even though when I grab hold of a really good New England IPA, I sing and dance around the kitchen about it, and this is equally as good for me. So if you're a lover of darker beers, then this would be right up your street. If you're not, if you're kind of wondering what I'm talking about here, going, oh, he really likes this, it must be really good, but I'm not really a fan of darker beers, then just take that into your mindset that I love dark beer, I love porters and stouts. So I'm going to be a little bit more maybe over enthusiastic about this beer than maybe somebody who doesn't like porters and stouts. But I love them. Even, I mean, we're on the longest day of the year. It's the second longest day. It's the 22nd of June 2021, reviewing this beer. And I don't mind it being the middle of summer. I don't mind it being the middle of summer cracking open a porter. I really don't. I could drink these things all year round. All year round. And I get really excited when it's a really good one, as this is. You get the vanilla, you get the bitter dark chocolate, you get that creamy mouthfeel that goes with the chocolate kind of flavours. I mean, chocolate's thick and creamy, really, isn't it? The coffee, I like a latte. I like a latte coffee whenever I go out for a coffee, and I like it strong, a strong latte. And again, that creamy kind of latte feeling replicated with the beer in that creamy mouthfeel. It's beautiful. Same as the little bit of sweet caramel and the slight kind of biscuity malts in there. It's really good. It's really, really good. Yeah, for me, maybe on a biased point of view, this is Lord's Brewing Company's best beer by a long way. And I just like stouts and porters. So this is a really good one. I'm surprised if they put this in for awards. I'd be surprised if this didn't win awards. It's just pardon me, it hasn't got any adjuncts in it. They haven't thrown coconuts, and they've not had cacao nibs, and they haven't, you know, whacked a load of adjuncts, different things in the beer. It's just a really good porter. But when you get a really good porter right, or a really good stout for that matter, you don't have to throw adjuncts in your beer. You don't have to throw cocoa and coconut and vanilla and all these different things, because you will naturally pick up those flavours anyway. This, for me, is an award-winning porter that hasn't won any awards yet, but I wouldn't be surprised in the future if it did start winning lots of awards. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Between the malt and between the hops, the roasted malt and the hops that are in the beer, you've got a great combination of the chocolate, the coffee, the caramel, malt, and then you've got that kind of beautiful hop, dark fruit, plum, fig, prune. Beautiful. What do they say about this beer then? The Bandon Car is a folk song penned by Irish balladeer Kevin Beale, which cautions pubgoers in West Cork to beware of the seemingly omniscient Garda car patrolling the area in search of drink drivers. This well-balanced porter is rich and satisfying with a roasted edge and a sweet lingering aftertaste. Our tribute to County Cork. Right, so they've explained the Bandon Car. So it's really a copper looking for drink drivers. I like it. For me, absolutely fantastic. Best beer for me from Lord's Brewing Company. This is a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.